Bomma le botate, molokoloko wa dirutegi o tla tsena mo nakwaneng ye kopana. Le kgopelwa go ema.
Dames en here, die akademiese prosesie sal nou inbeweeg. U word versoek om asseblief op te staan.
Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession will now enter. You are kindly requested to stand.
By the power vested in me, I hereby constitute this assembly as a legal congregation of the University of Pretoria. During this assembly, degrees, diplomas, and certificates with all the associated rights and privileges will be conferred and awarded to the candidates whose names appear in the program. You may please take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, we request you to please join us in silent prayer or meditation to give thanks for the achievements of our students. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as Vice Principal of the University of Pretoria, allow me to extend a warm word of welcome to all of you present at this afternoon's graduation ceremony. Today, we are celebrating the achievements of our students graduating in the Faculty of Education. Allow me to also welcome the Registrar, Professor Nicholson, the Dean of the Faculty, Professor Sihole, the Deputy Dean, Professor Human Vogel, also the Acting Director for Operations and Career Services. A warm welcome also to heads of departments, academics, representative of the Student Representative Council. And then also importantly, I would like to extend a special word of welcome to the parents and family and partners of the students who are graduating today. Ladies and gentlemen, this ceremony would not have happened were it not for your support and the achievements of our students. Along with our graduating students, you are our VIP guests today. Today we will be conferring some 300 degrees, of which 15 are doctoral degrees. The University of Pretoria Faculty of Education is the largest contact faculty of education in the country and a leader in teacher education and training. Its core function is to train quality teachers, education psychologists, leaders, and managers in education. International rankings bear testimony to the faculty's international standing. For example, according to the 2023 QS World University Rankings by subject released earlier this year, the University of Pretoria Faculty of Education ranks in the top 350 in the world from something like more than 15,000 universities. A graduate of this university's education faculty can rest assured that they have obtained a qualification that is recognized the world over for its quality and relevance. Today, I would also like to briefly share a few examples about another characteristic of this faculty, namely its commitment to continuous improvement. Through innovative and responsive engagement with changing demands both within and outside the university, the faculty makes an ever larger contribution to achieving the university's strategic goals. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but as little as 6 years ago, the faculty education was trying to meet its enrollment's target. However, through innovative and smart recruitment practices, this faculty has now grown to one of the largest faculties at the University of Pretoria. Of course, enabling enhanced access to the faculty is one thing, but of paramount importance is ensuring that the students who enter our education programs also successfully complete them. Another area where the faculty has shown continuous improvement is through the innovative support and care it provides to its students. The faculty student support plan takes a holistic approach, covering academic, financial, and psychosocial aspects, mobilizing its own community for interventions to address, for example, student hunger is one area where the education faculty sets an example for the whole of the university and the university sector at large. Building on the lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic, the faculty has implemented an effective hybrid teaching model. It is also continuously engaged in curriculum transformation and is one of the faculties actively taking the lead when it comes to introducing multilingualism into the curriculum. My message to the students: receiving your degree today is confirmation of remarkable dedication and perseverance from your side. It is no small task to obtain a further degree, especially a doctoral degree, and while doing so, dealing with the demands of a full-time occupation. May you take up your role with renewed enthusiasm as teachers and leaders in the education sector. Regardless of where today's milestone is along your journey as an education practitioner, as you enter or return to the world of work, you have the opportunity to change people's lives for the better, and nobody else but you as educationists can do it better. It is my wish that the qualification you receive from the University of Pretoria will enable you to have a positive impact on society. Please accept our heartfelt congratulations and do keep in touch with your alma mater through the University of Pretoria Alumni Network. We hope to welcome you back to the university from time to time as you continue a journey of lifelong learning. And please remember that through your support, we can only grow University of Pretoria from strength to strength. May you continue to make today matter. Thank you very much. I now request the Dean to introduce to me the candidates whose names appear in the program.
Mr. Vice Principal, the supervisors will now introduce the doctoral candidates.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Renee Beyers, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Professional Discretion of Public School Principals, an Education Law Perspective, prepared under my supervision. This thesis, underpinned by contextual intelligence theory, investigated principals' legal interpretation of their duties, their application of professional discretion, and their perceptions of the role of contextual intelligence in their decision-making. This study adopted a mixed methods approach from within a pragmatist research paradigm. Data was collected using survey questionnaires followed by semi-structured interviews. The study finds multiple scenarios in which principals must apply professional discretion and are often required to ignore official policies that do not allow for the contextual nuances of their schools. Various internal and external factors are identified that influence how principals apply professional discretion. Furthermore, principals experience intimidation by departmental officials who would often second-guess their decision-making. As a result, they are often afraid to apply their discretionary powers. Mr. Vice Principal, I require that you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Zanele Dibane, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled The Mathematics Teacher Identity Development of Non-Specialist Grade 6 Teachers in Rural Schools, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. J.J. Buerta as co-supervisor. In this thesis, The Mathematics Teacher Identity Development of Non-Specialist Grade 6 Teachers in Rural Schools, the candidate used an exploratory case study research design to investigate the development of teacher identity of non-specialist mathematics teachers. The inquiry generated 3 noteworthy findings. Namely, this identity did not develop meaningfully through practice due to a lack of subject matter expertise and didactical skills. Also, teachers' beliefs negatively influenced their teacher identity development because of their incontrovertible belief that mathematics is difficult and should therefore be taught using direct instruction and learned through receiving knowledge from teachers. And then contextual factors such as the school context, a lack of resources, and support from school leaders were also observed to harm their identity development. The study recommends that non-specialist mathematics teachers participate in in-service professional development programs and receive assistance from school leaders. Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Hezekiah Kakowa Lilonga, who has complied with the requirements for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Grade 10 learners problem-solving skills and strategies in algebraic word problems, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, grade 10 learners problem-solving skills and strategies in algebraic word problems, the candidates use a qualitative approach to investigate grade 10 learners problem-solving skills and strategies in solving algebraic word problems in Ohawena region in Namibia. Data was collected using an achievement test and a problem-solving interview. Poya's problem-solving model and Krunick and Rudnick's problem-solving strategies were employed as frameworks. The findings reveal that the learner's skill in solving algebraic word problems were extremely poor at the 4 steps of Poya's model. However, the learners mainly use make a model strategy in attempting the algebraic word problems. Based on the findings, it is recommended that teachers overtly model Poya's problem-solving steps using different strategies in teaching mathematics. Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I request that you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Lonjabulo Fortunate Madonda, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Mentoring Experiences of Women Leaders in Advancing to Senior Positions at a South African University, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. A. Du Plessis as a co-supervisor. In this thesis, Mentoring Experiences of Women Leaders in Advancing to Senior Positions at a South African University, the candidate investigated the mentoring experiences of women leaders during their advancement to senior positions at a South African university. Based on an interpretivist paradigm, a qualitative research approach was followed to collect data from 9 participants drawn from a population of female academics occupying various leadership positions in their place of employment. In this qualitative case study, data was collected through semi-structured interviews and analysis of documents to understand mentoring practices from the perspectives of purposefully selected women leaders and their mentors. The study's main finding reveals that women leaders aspiring to advance to higher leadership positions in higher education face more severe challenges than initially thought. The study presents a proposed model for mentoring women towards senior leadership positions in higher education. Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Francina Masola, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Ecosystemic Factors Influencing the Experience of Fear in Young Children, prepared under my supervision, Professor K. Bypath, and with Professor A.E. Mutivi as co-supervisor. In her thesis, the candidate investigated ecosystemic factors influencing the experience of fear in young children. An interpretative, qualitative, multiple case study was utilized. Bronfenbrenner's bioecological theory was illustrated, highlighting the fearful experiences amongst young children in the different socio-economic status groups in South Africa. Thematic analysis highlighted that negligence, nightmares, domestic violence, bullying, terrifying television programs, COVID-19, kidnapping, and murder are causing fear in young children. The study proves that children from low socioeconomic status groups are doomed to a fearful and dismal life. Recommendations are provided for schools and the Department of Education to ensure that we can get our vulnerable children from low socioeconomic status groups to break the poverty cycle and add to the success of the South African economy. Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Tolakele Constance Mgometulu, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctoral of Philosophy with a thesis titled Pedagogical Practices in Teaching Siswati as a First Language in Diverse Linguistic Settings, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. X. Kotliso as a co-supervisor. The thesis, Pedagogical Practices in Teaching Siswati as a First Language in Diverse Linguistic Settings, sought to comprehend and ascertain the appropriateness and suitability of pedagogical practices in helping learners in Eswatini to acquire core language skills in Siswati language. It was achieved through an interpretive, qualitative, exploratory multiple case study design and employing sociocultural theory to explore pedagogy in Siswati. The study finds that while teachers understood that their teaching of Siswati meant equipping learners with functional language skills, such a productive and receptive skills, which are essential for studying across subject curricula, a lack of technological and pedagogical knowledge thwarted their pedagogical practices, thereby compromising the language learning experiences provided to learners. The study proves that language teacher should be a total package and possesses technological, pedagogical, and content knowledge, which is the TPEC, to be effective in the practice. Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Lepile Cyril Motlaholwe, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Youth Experiences of a Rural South African Sports Development Program, prepared under my supervision and with Prof. Wood and Dr. Borison as co-supervisors. In this thesis, Youth Experiences of a Rural South African Sports Development Program, the candidate explored the youth experiences of a sports development program in rural South Africa and the contribution of sport to the development of rural youth. A theoretical framework specific to the South African context was established, which addressed the contextual gaps in the current youth development framework. The study's theoretical perspective offered a unique opportunity to explore youth's multiple realities and identify enablers and possible barriers to attaining positive development outcomes. The study provides new insight into the unique and unexplored experiences of youth by increasing our understanding of how a rural sports development program can be used to contribute to the already enhanced youth experiences. The study further provides thought-provoking contributions to conversations regarding youth development through sport and rurality in the African context. Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I request you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Bonga Ngema, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Management of Infrastructure at Non-Fee Paying Schools in a Selected South African Province, prepared under my supervision with Professor Nylon Marishani as co-supervisor. In this thesis, the candidate explored how infrastructure is managed in non-fee paying schools in a selected South African province through the lens of management functions and participatory governance theory. This study employed a qualitative research approach with a case study design. 6 primary and 6 secondary non-fee paying schools and district officials from 4 different district offices in the selected province participated in the study. The data collection strategies included semi-structured interviews and document analysis. The study finds that the National Department of Basic Education and the Provincial Department of Education have centralized infrastructure management in non-fee paying schools. They are employing excessively bureaucratic management processes, which not only hamper the effective management of infrastructure in non-fee paying schools, but also undermine the principles of participatory governance in these schools. It results in the participating schools experiencing overwhelming infrastructure backlogs, worsened by insufficient funding to meet the infrastructure needs of non-fee paying schools. Mr. Vice Principal, I request that you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Esmery Uleman, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Musicking in the Liminal Space Between Community Music and Music Education, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate followed a narrative inquiry research design to investigate music king through the lived experiences of 18 musicians, 10 from South Africa, 5 from Uganda, and 3 from Israel. All the participants have facilitated community music programs. This qualitative interpretive study was underpinned by Eliot's 1995 Practical theory that proposes music as a verb rather than a noun, Freire's 2000's critical theory that describes the transformative power of dialogue, and Eberson's 2012 flocking theory that explains the process of generative relational support leading to communal resourcefulness and resilience. Musicking is a central practice in community music and music education and can be used to generate social capital and promote social justice principles. The synthesized findings demonstrate the organic coalescence of community music and music education and depict the desirability of partnerships as proposed in the musicking umbrella. Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Gerardus Potgieter, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Exploring Breathwork Paradigms of South African Singing Education Lecturers, prepared under my supervision. In this thesis, the candidate followed a multiple case study research design exploring the breathwork paradigms of 9 research participants. This study envisioned a singing education breathwork teaching and learning framework for all life skills educators. The Russian Systema method of 7 principles of breathing was employed as a theoretical framework to underpin this interpretive study. The deductive data analysis approach culminates in a singing education breathwork quotient. The 8 delineators in this quotient are awareness, purposeful inhalation, non-tension, intake sufficiency, resistance, exhalation management, continuity, and performance regulation. Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I introduce to you Carlis Skuman, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Retrospective Analysis of Childhood Experiences in Conflicted Relationships, prepared under my supervision and with Dr. Hanley de Pree as co-supervisor. In a thesis, a retrospective analysis of childhood experiences in conflicted relationships, the candidates sought to understand the dynamics of conflicted mother-daughter relationships. The study was conducted using a qualitative multi-case study design. Retrospective analysis enabled the identification of sequences of events that had an impact on the lives of the mothers and daughters. This study highlights the intergenerational cycle of unresolved trauma and adversities in the mothers' and daughters' lives. These adversities negatively influence the quality of attachment between mothers and daughters and have a long-lasting effect on their well-being, parenting, and interpersonal relationships. Rigid patterns of communication and interaction are formed when mothers and daughters are unable to process the experiences of adverse childhood experiences. This study confirms that the bond between mothers and daughters remains strong throughout their lives, despite experiencing significant adversities. Mr. Vice-Chancellor and Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Joseph Suetsuabip, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled School Leadership Competencies for Teacher Professional Development, a Namibian case study, prepared under my supervision with Professor Nylan Marashani as co-supervisor. In this thesis, the candidate explored and described the existing relationship between the leadership competencies of school principals and heads of department in their efforts towards satisfying teachers' professional development needs. The study used a mixed method approach in the pragmatist paradigm, underpinned by a blend of functional, distributed, and instructional leadership theories. It is established that the school leadership competencies are significant enablers of principals and HODs to devise and execute strategies to support professional development of teachers. Generally, the absence of or presence of specific leadership competencies among school leaders affects the quality of support they provide towards the professional development of their teachers. The lack of specific competencies hampers efforts to support teachers in improving their subject knowledge and pedagogical practices. Therefore, leadership competencies affect the roles and responsibilities of school principals and HODs towards providing instructional supervision for improved teacher professional practices. Mr. Vice Principal, I request that you confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Geachte visierektor, ek stel in die voor Karen en Walstra, wat voldoen het aan al die vereistes vir die graad filosofie uit dokter, met 'n proefskrif voorberei onder my promotorskap en voorheen die promotorskap van Emeritus Professor Tiru Vandejaar. In her research and her thesis with a very complicated title that you will find in the program, the promovender investigated what would happen if teachers used virtual reality in their teaching. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's those goggles that people put on and then they move into different worlds. And so Karen asked herself, so what if I taught some teachers how to use this virtual reality software and then see what patterns emerged? And when she analyzed those patterns, she developed very useful guidelines which will change the way in which we teach with technology in future. And if you want to know what those guidelines are, then I suggest you read the thesis yourself. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, I introduce to you Kyla Willemse, who has complied with the requirements for the degree Doctor of Philosophy with a thesis titled Supporting Grade R Teachers to Integrate Coding and Robotics with Mathematical Concepts, under my supervision. In the thesis, the candidate explored how teachers may be supported to integrate coding and robotics with mathematical concepts. Participatory action research involved 10 grade R teachers and 1 expert participant specializing in early childhood technology and mathematics. Data generation consisted of semi-structured individual interviews, collaborative discussion groups, guided observations, photo voice, a researcher journal, and a systematizing expert interview. The data was analyzed using deductive and inductive data analysis and interpretation, developing a framework with 4 guidelines. The study finds that coding and robotics can be integrated as successful tools with mathematical concepts to teach learners playfully and informally. The framework to support teachers in integrating these tools into their practices focuses on understanding teachers' needs, addressing external factors, carefully planning the learning process, and achieving positive outcomes. Mr. Vice Principal, I request you to confer the degree on the candidate.
I hereby confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy with all its associated rights and privileges on the candidate. Congratulations.
Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education. Ronke Adibayo. This way. With distinction, Ilse de Vries. Stephanie Lutz. Karen Pinar.
With distinction, Donald Tive. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education Management, Law and Policy. Dean Stander. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education Leadership. Kiaubaka Mangole. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master in Education Psychology. Denise Lowe. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Master of Education Psychology. Keshni Naidu. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education Honors, Computer Integrated Education. Marriott Adam. With distinction, Komotso Baloi. Genevieve Carathas Smith with distinction. Ahana Dibe Persat. With distinction, Maeve Engelbrecht. Dalen Fredericks. Reba One Khabana Khosi. With distinction, Lyndon Hunter. With distinction, Ndombifuti Makoba. Mabore Lekalakala. Matebogo Makubedu. Tabiso Makubela. Elizabeth Nkunu. Ngosinati Mkize. With distinction, Carol Muller. With distinction, Mariko Mouton. Nomagugu Mtombeni. Nokukhanya Nduli. With distinction, Lucille Pick. With distinction, Elsie Richardson. Fadia Samsudin Maybach. Pilisiwe Shange. Deborah Sibia. Imelda Terry. Shamir Barnett. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education, Honors, Education Management, Law, and Policy. With distinction, Shannon Basson. Nokuthula Buthelezi. Tamsanga Tebisa. Munene Chauge. Peaceful Dingizo. Nokukhanya Dubazana. With distinction, Asasia Duka Peshad. With distinction, Bianca Fori. With distinction, Claudine Gabriel. With distinction, Prashantha Govinda. Herbert Gumbi. Pinky Hlongwane. With distinction, Alexander Janse van Vieren. Ntobefuthi Gianni. McDonald Gesekile. Letabo Komweswana.
Hello.
Mbiselo Kepei. Makhosazane Khoza. Tashmika Lalbihari with distinction. Sharon Langa. Tabiso Langa. Liam Laughland. Nelly Mabasa. Mabidi Lala Ramasela. Madisha Mulahlwa. Tabo Manager. Tandeka Magwaza. With distinction, Silo Mahapeleza. Precious Matlangu. Sibongile Matlangu. Sibongile Matlangu. Alia Majoti. Sialana Manabile. Ramatsubani Mantata. Mufahlushi Mapeto. Ndombi Masango. Mabokalake Mashabela. Eugene Masukwameng. Ramatsibela Mashabela. Nokulunga Mashiani. Queen Matabata. Dimakatso Matseke. Lydia Maisela. Nkosheni Mbele. With distinction, Patedi Millo. Brenda Metle. Cebisile Mhlongo. Katazile Mkari. Mpho Mala. Given Mola. Matukwane Mogoboya. Dipuo Mohlele. Mabusetsa Mokwena. Khulukile Mokori. Mohale Molewa. Ramapimetse Molokwane. Nelson Munareng. Mamukhobo Mutupi. With distinction, Kulufelo Mpulwani. Ntutuko Mtembu. Sanele Mchali. Zinhle Mzimela. Salvan Ndlovu. Charlotte Ndlovu. Chifinga Netsambidi. With distinction, Kulisiwe Ngamu. Nokulunga Ngobo. Number 10 Ngubeni. Kemo Nhlani. Itekani Nobela. Gladness Njangasi. Busisiwe Nzimande. Machachi Phalani. Mujalefa Petla. Marco Pretorius. Victoria Ramalepe. Sharon Ramatlodi. Rudzani Rasilingwani. Karabo Sibusi. Sidiso Sifujani. Sheila Sikaulelo. Sibolo Silala. Oh, sorry. With distinction, Sibolo Silala. Matabo Silepe. Edgar Siloa. Martha Sichie. Nomngebo Shongwe. Nareshni Singh. Hlengiwe Sithole. With distinction, Angela Skillicom. Malouise Smith. Zimra Sonikson Abdel Ahmed. Tsietsi Tepanyenka. Maifinini Tibakwana. Justin Valentine. Shimovia Fanzale with distinction. Elekanyani Vele. Princess Villani. Kensani Vuma. Iwish Zita. Sibongile Zulu. Sinethemba Zulu. Matsia Komani. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education Honors Learning Support. Zarif Abdul Habib. With distinction, Nadia Barinato. Karin Brink. Bonita Brook. Lincoln Daniels. With distinction, Nicole Diop. Sarah Evans.
This is your degrees, huh?
Deborah James. Grace Makudo. Buitumelo Manamela. Zotini Nkuna. With distinction, Kelly O. Sukasha Ramkelawan. Sinethemba Zwane. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education Honors in Assessment Quality Assurance in Education and Training. Lizelle Bailey. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidate has complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education Honors Education Psychology. Malvin Arense. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Honors in Curriculum and Instruction Design and Development. Elizabeth Ferreira. Gina Khoza. Mureki Musuani. Roslyn Patterson. Maputi Ramara, Kwena Situmu, Melissa van Dijk, Sindisiwe Zwane, Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the postgraduate diploma in technical and vocational education and training. Jabi Ngosi, Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education, Foundation Phase Teaching. Palesa Muropoli, Janet Swart, Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education, Intermediate Phase Teaching. Nokwanda Pudelezi, Katarzyna Krutel, Francis Liboloko, Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the degree Bachelor of Education, Senior Phase and Further Education and Training Teaching. Nonhlanhla Maduna, Kulufelo Masha, Temba Matlalela, Samkelesiwe Mkwanazi, Simon Mukwena, Tapelo Mutswahai, Kaukela Mpashi, Prince Nguna, Gerald Sibia, Tshegofatso Chayani, Yanga Vangani, Siyabonga Zwani, Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidate has complied with all the requirements for the postgraduate certificate in education, further education and training teaching. Karabo Pakati. Mr. Vice Principal, the following candidates have complied with all the requirements for the Advanced Diploma in School Leadership and Management. Disego Mabidi Lala, with distinction. Bella Matlokwe. With distinction, Madimecha Mulaba. Marubini Nechipize. Alice Pasha. Maboko Rabotata.
So let us give our graduates a big hand for their hard work and perseverance. Thank you. Now I would like to ask our graduates to applaud their families, partners, friends for their support over the years. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now come to the end of the proceedings. Before we close, I wish to invite all of you present here for refreshments in front of the aula after we conclude this formal function. You are requested to stand for the singing of the national anthem and to remain standing until the assembly has been dissolved and the academic procession has left the auditorium. The words of the national anthem are printed on the inside back cover of the program. I request you to please rise for the national anthem.
Israel
By the powers vested in me, I hereby dissolve this assembly of the University of Pretoria.
So